We're back, Dust, going into overtime on the first map, Luminosity versus Tempo Storm. After a really strong first half by Tempo Storm, they weren't able to seal the deal on CT's side.
Right, yeah. I mean, like I said, we just saw Luminosity play a really good T side. Like I said, really good A tactics with some good mods to flush people out of position. Pitt fragging really, really well on the entries. You even see Lex putting up big numbers this game. Peter's op obviously has been on point for the most part. And even Anger, like I said, who struggled a lot in the first half, really brought it back in the second half.
Well, we saw him waving. I mean, he's so much friendlier now. It helps.
He's happy.
He's yeah, happy exactly. Now. He's happy. Not as happy as Envy is happy, but almost.
Yeah, I'm sure Happy from Envious is quite happy with these new roster changes, and we'll see some big things out of them in the future.
I'm excited to see that team too. Looks like are they live? They are live.
Yeah, we are seeing a more mid control here from Luminosity. They didn't really do a whole lot of this mid control stuff last time. Maybe only once they did mid to be split like this. So definitely bringing out some aggression to kick off the overtime. Like I said, those mind games changing things up.
Indeed, you're seeing a B takedown by Luminosity Gaming. I think this is probably smart because they were so A heavy initially.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah, right. Peter firing off. He was on fire yesterday. He's on fire today. He's standing outside the fire now, taking op shot after op shot. There's Shazam. Star Opera for Tempo Storm already down, and Dusk, we're in a 3 versus 2 situation. Bomb walking into the B site.
Yeah, Peter might try to collect an ace here in just a second. Really well done. He had some sick picks with this op. Looking for it. There's the fourth kill. Can he find the ace? Rick's in heaven. There it is. Peter. Oh my goodness. And they talked about it yesterday. Like, Peter, he's not in game leading anymore. He can focus on the fragging, and he delivered yesterday. Even though they lost against Navi, he looked really good on Dust 2 in this game. Damn.
Yeah.
What a play. What an ace.
That's one to save for the BenQ replay right there.
That's a BenQ highlight moment for sure.
That's awesome. 16.
That's free plug, though. You're welcome, BenQ. You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, can you send me a monitor, please?
I could use a monitor.
At Dust Moret, tweet me, BenQ. Listen, I'm helping you out here.
Pay the bill. Peter, can he do it again? No, not meant to be. Peeks the corner. Actually, he gets peeked and just isn't fast enough. I wasn't fast enough, man, and gets shut down.
Yeah, and here comes Pitt, like I said, having a really big second half regulation, leading the charge here. Once again, Luminosity changing things up really, really mid-aggressive here, where you didn't see that in regulation. And I think it's throwing Tempo Storm for a loop, not used to seeing that. And yeah, it's definitely working wonders here for Luminosity.
Well, Luminosity, they've got the bomb already planted at A site, and on the retake, see Devil Walk going down in mid. Shazam holding the hard angle from just outside of Truck. Looking down A main, he gets flashed off. That forces him to give up his position, but nobody got out.
Yeah, retake coming in here, automatic able to pick up Pitt. They actually have a man advantage on the retake, and they might get it now.
Yeah, it's all Anger. Up to Anger.
They smoke the bomb.
It's planted for him. He knows right where it is. Misses the spray down. Yes, that's
he
the
just
diffuser.
Gets it. And Shazam doesn't have time.
Nope.
Could he not have picked up the kid off his fallen teammate and made that happen? Maybe he couldn't find the kid inside the smoke. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard.
He may not have been able to get it anyhow. So really well done. They close out the round. Anger gets that spam right at the last second to stop that diffuse. Really big play.
I thought he was in such trouble because when he was spamming initially, he was aiming just to the left of the smoke. And then he lines it up again and says, no, actually, I think it's over here.
And those are those moments of the diffuser that just makes your butthole clench, man. Like, you're just like, oh, am I going to...
I'm sticking it, and I'm dead.
It just didn't happen there. So it is 17-15 there. And Luminosity, like I said, changing things up a lot here on the T side. It's worked well for him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they were so darn predictable going for those standard A hits every single time. This time it's going to be another A take. Pith walking in like he owns the place, and Anger backing him up. Pith and Anger are going to get very aggressive, pushing all the way towards Truck side. You see Shazam on the flank from Highway. He's going to get traded out. Smokes go down. Bomb goes down. And it's up to Automatic for Health to just try his best to stay alive.
And he has to go for it here. It's the last half of the OT. The last round of this half of OT.
Oh, so you're right.
So, I mean, he has to make something happen, but you can't expect much. He's got 4 HP.
Tap
good
those
positioning
headshots
from LG. Yeah, you'd have to have a sick play here, and it's not going to happen, Peter. I mean, like I said, LG just makes some sick adjustments. Like, they had these really heavy A hits that were so successful, so Tempo Storm knows they have to worry about like these Molotovs coming in, these really heavy A hits, the entries that they're getting from A main. Yet, because we've even seen in reaction to that in regulation, Tempo Storm had to like stack the A-bomb site a few times. And knowing that, Luminosity changes things up. They go super mid-heavy all 3 rounds to B splits, the first couple rounds to an A hit there. Peter obviously had that ace round, the first round of OT, so that helps, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, good adjustments from Luminosity, like good mental games, and they won those mental games.
Yeah, waiting on the second half to go underway. Let's see, Tempo Storm now going to be on T side.
Yeah, and they have to win out the half just to get a second OT out of this. That's the best they can hope for, so this is a very tough position. What does Tempo Storm do to change things up? We saw those fast A hits, you know, Stanislaw, Squeaky, throwing the fast smoke, the sweeping A hit from everyone else through main.
Tempo Storm's chaotic. You know, they don't believe in a lot of structure. They wing it. They go on the fly. Everybody plays whatever role is necessary in the heat of the moment. It didn't work against Virtus Pro. It did work against Luminosity Gaming. They need.
Well, they want to work B. They know they were able to kind of have their way with Devil Walk and Anger on that side of the map most of the time. They're boosting up Anger, actually, so he'll be in the vents. But Devil Walk playing close behind at the checkers, and it's definitely a B hit. They're all gathered up B lobby. Yeah, and there's 3 stacked A, so the rotation's going to be so slow, and this is going to be actually wind up being a good round unless Anger comes up big from
flash. Anger's blind, sitting in vents, turns around, finds Rix really fast. Automatic also doing some work. Anger still in checkers. They didn't realize 2 people are playing in checkers. Anger's finally going to go down with a nice trade.
Right.
Bomb is planted, and like you said, Dust, it's a long way to rotate from A.
Yeah, and like I said, it's the problem with Luminosity playing so passive at mid, which we even saw in regulation. You're so slow to rotate. Like that mid player that has the trend on this Luminosity team to rotate to the A-bomb site. But they do get this into a 1v1 anyhow, but it's Luminosity who wins it. Team Ace there. So, wow, it still worked out somehow on that retake for Luminosity. I'm so surprised that they were able to make that happen, but they do. And it's 19-15. Well done.
Peter with the victory right there. You see it going around. GG's 19-15 final score. Luminosity Gaming taking map #1 of Cash.
Wow, big fashion. I mean, they were down 11-4, had a tough CT side. They came back, won 11 of their own on T side to force an overtime. And then in overtime, they were flawless. You know, their 3 T rounds were just so well planned, you know, with the mental games based on, you know, just making proper adjustments. The ace from Peter obviously was big. And then on the CT side, even when it looked super bleak, I thought Tempo Storm wins that round, but they couldn't hold off their retake, crazy enough.
Not one bit. Luminosity Gaming, I mean, we saw them struggle a lot yesterday. Peter representing big time. The rest of the team sort of falling short. Yeah. This time we've got Pitt leading 31 kills with a plus-minus of, is that for real? Plus-minus of 10.
Yeah, I mean, and what a turnaround, because on CT side, I think he was like 8 and 10, and then in the second half of regulation, he dropped like 20 frags. Like, he was so big on all their executions. He was just really opening up sights with that rifle, just really, really good entries. And also, like you said, Peter Zopp was definitely on point. He was a second-place fragger on the team. Lex was kind of surprising to be playing that well, but let's take a quick look over here at Peter. We had kind of a cool little highlight that we want to show you.
Yeah, let's sort of the BenQ replay for Peter's epic ace.
Yeah. We're going to only catch the tail end of it here. He already had 3 frags to help open up the site, but here are the final 2 to secure the ace, as we did see Rix and Roka trying to retake here, but they'll meet Peter's up.
This is insane right here.
Watching it from Rick's perspective makes it even worse. Like, you think he has it because Peter's preoccupied. He got some good damage in, but couldn't finish it off. So watching it from Rick's angle makes it look even more devastating.
Yeah, exactly. It's so frustrating if you're Rick's, because you peek that angle, he takes a couple of shots, and then he backs
crossfire
off.
Too.
Yeah, it is. Then he takes a couple more shots, and then he just gets off off.
I mean, like I said, it was a good crossfire. He had someone jumping out bench. He distracted Peter. You know, Rick's trying to get it, and it just didn't happen. I saw it from Peter's perspective, so I didn't realize that Rich was actually that close to getting the kill, so it's a bit unfortunate. But either way, well played from Luminosity.
Absolutely.
We will take a break now. When we come back, it will be Mat 2, which is Dust 2, Luminosity's pick, to see if it's going to be over 2-0 or whether or not we're going to need that third back, which is going to be Cobble.
It'll be close.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Well, Dust, welcome back, and what an incredible comeback by Luminosity Gaming on the first map of Cash. Coming up on Luminosity's map pick of Dust 2. Tell me, what's your prediction? What's the scoreline going to look like?
I mean, after that comeback, you have to be on a mental high if you're Luminosity. And this was their pick. This is a map they put up at least somewhat of a decent fight against Navi on, especially Pitt and Peter. Those two particularly really came alive in the second half and in overtime after having kind of a tough first half on the CT side. If they can maintain that form, if Pitt can maintain that level he was playing at, or if Peter's op can be at the same level as against Navi yesterday and against them just now there towards the end of that last game, if they can keep those people on form, they definitely could 2-0 this series. I mean, I think this map is really not a clear advantage for either team as far as the map itself, but it's about like who's actually performing, and they're at the end of Luminosity.
Yeah, it seems like more members of Luminosity are representing, right? It's no longer the Peter carry. Dust 2 does tend to be a little bit more op-centric than most maps. You got that long control that's so critical. You've got the opping down mid. So in that case, it's really going to come down to Shazam versus Peter's op. Based on what we've seen so far, who's going to come out on top?
I don't know. Like when I think about like Luminosity CT side, I'm not sure if they're going to change things up. But Peter was obviously this guy who takes his picks mid, takes his picks long. He'll rush up Cat. He'll get these aggressive peaks in the lower B with the out. So he's all over the place. And then Pitt, he looked particularly good in form there towards the end of the last game. He's so important for this CT side Luminosity. He kind of plays that mid-A rotator position, so he's like facilitating getting people positioned that long A and such, and he's like rotating back to CT spawn, trying to help defend against the mid-B splits, trying to help the Cat cross hits. So he's going to be a big factor, and those two are looking really sharp. So I think on the CT side of things, Luminosity, their key players are looking pretty tight here. Lex, kind of the B anchor for this team.
Right.
He was looking pretty effective there on that last map as well. So I think defensively they seem to be shooting well, so they should be okay on this map. Their T side, I'm not sure what they're going to do. Like I said, they have a new in-game leader with Lex leading the team now. They have Devilwalk having a huge influence in the team leadership-wise. So I'm not really sure what to expect tactically from them. Though D2 seems pretty straightforward. Most teams play it about the same.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the all-star pub map. Everybody knows it. Everybody plays it. I was talking to Scoots a little bit earlier, asking about what happened with Luminosity Gaming versus Team Navi matchup, and he said it's mostly Peter making big plays, but some weird stuff happened on mid. I think Devilwalk got a little confused at one point and jumped straight into mid, where all of Navi was sitting and just got wrecked. So hopefully they're a little bit more together on their mid control and communication on where the enemy team is going into D2.
Yeah, for Tempo Storm, I don't know what to expect out of them either. I haven't seen them play Dust 2 yet as a 5. Like when they played their 1 best-of-3 against CLG, Dust 2 wasn't one of the maps played, I don't think. And then, obviously, yesterday we saw them play VP on Train and Cash. So I don't know what their D2's like. I know what Shazam's like as an opper. Very similar to Peter, very all over the place on the TT side. Aggressive Cat, taking long picks, taking mid picks. So that's about all I really know what to expect. Rick's getting aggressive on Cat, finds a pick, looking for more, but he eventually falls back. Not getting too greedy.
Yeah, that's smart. You can't get too greedy, especially with just a pistol. You're going to see an aggressive gambit for mid, though. There's 1 pick. There's 2 picks, and window B side's completely empty. You're going to see Peter walk in there, should be able to plant the bomb while Anger plays a lurk position. Not going to happen, though. 3 members of Tempo Storm working their way in for the retake. No, no grenades, no smokes or anything on a pistol round, so it should just be pretty much shooting.
Yeah, right. 3-on-3 situation here. So let's see if there's any type of retake potential out of Tempo Storm so far. They're just going to try to overload the window here, but Peter going to be able to take the first kill there, and then they clean up house. And like I said, it's just that tanking pit strat, letting him buying armor, dropping him a Tech 9 because you're buying nades anyway. Like I said, you see Olaf do this for Fnatic a lot. You see Shroud do this for Cloud9 a lot. They just trust in their aimer to take those duels loaded up with an armor and a Tech 9, which is so powerful on a pistol round, first round.
Rick's, opened it up really nicely for Tempo Storm with that first pick, and I thought it might have been a different story on our pistol round, but that aggressive push-up mid sealed the deal, and of course not stacking B like a lot of teams do. Cost Tempo.
Right, we don't really see a heavy upgrade for Tempo Storm. No, like, pistol armor upgrades. A couple of pistol upgrades, but not like that heavy armor pistol upgrade with the Scout incorporated and all that stuff. So very, very conservative here is Tempo Storm. And this is just kind of easy pickings for Luminosity at that point. Should be able to get that 3-0 start.
Yeah, Rix is going to get aggressive on Cat. Goes ahead and takes 1 pick. He sees Pitt over there in the corner, decides to jump down. Pitt still holding the angle. Gets a nice shot right there. That was a headshot on Ricks, and he chooses to go ahead and take that fight down mid. Probably shouldn't have. Gets shut down by Automatic. An aggressive Automatic gets himself killed as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is just easy mop around Luminosity at this point with, Tempo Storm being pretty conservative with their economy, not going for the crazy upgrades, so you're not going to expect them to have much of a shot until that opening gun round. I will just make one quick note that I just randomly wanted to bring up. Ricks is known to be super aggressive online as well, making plays like that, where, we saw in the last couple rounds, like pushing Cat and being really aggressive. I respect the fact that he maintained that style of transition in lane. So many aggressive players I noticed get way passive online. Like they're either scared, nervous, or they don't feel like it's going to work.
Yeah.
He's playing like himself, and I think that's part of the reason why he was so successful against BP yesterday in many cases. And then even last map, though they lost, he played particularly well. So it's good to see that out of Ricks, like a new guy to the LAN scene.
Again, with the aggression, Ricks goes out there on Cat, takes a pick, and look at the fake. Flashes are thrown, lots of noise is being made down by A site, and the Luminosity rotates all the way back down towards mid, might set up for some sort of a mid to B. If so, they'll have to deal with Automatic.
Yeah, I mean, the rotation's coming in from CT spawn, and it looks like Lex is just going to try to cut that off while he sends everyone else B tunnels to B. There's a huge stack Cat that's about to push as well, but Lex is kind of spawning it out. That nade's going to come in.
He's thinking about it. Might come down to a fight.
He could definitely get caught with this scout out in the open like this. I mean, they're going to pinch him hard, but...
It's a 1v1. Stanislav rushes the corner and gets taken down. Headshotted by the Tech 9. Site's already been taken. And look, Automatic, he has to play retake from doors. Such a difficult position. Devil Walk plants. And all the angles are covered. Automatic's going to go down, so it's going to be a 1-and-1. Look how heavily tunnels are stacked.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough here. It's not going to happen. LG, flawless victory, so not having to upgrade any of those AKs. That's definitely good stuff. And we'll see. Opening gun round, however. Let's see what Shazam wants to do here. With the spawn he has, like I said, he definitely could go quick Cat. He loves to do that. Look for those peaks. Like, he's one of the ones he'll actually look lower B. He doesn't fall back. He'll actually edge out, like pick Subway as well. So we could see him go for that. Or we could see him just go for the long AP. That's what he's going to take. Will he meet up with Peter? No, Peter holding mid right now with his op.
Well, it's going to be a 2 and 3 stack, heavy long presence. So all Luminosity really has to do is go down mid. It looks like they're actually thinking about going that direction. They smoke it off. Rick's being drawn back to mid.
And Roka playing his traditional spot. I was kind of wondering about that. This is where he played for Elevate. That pit, that A anchor position. They're keeping him in the same kind of spot. They have Ricks in their rotation position over here at mid CT spawn area. So at least allowing the players to kind of play spots they're used to playing and what they're comfortable with, which makes sense given the situation.
Very spread out play by Luminosity Gaming. They've given up a lot of control up by A. If Roka chooses to peek the corner, they could find themselves flanked off really fast, but it's a push up towards mid. 2 players waiting. Ricks and Stanislav with the crossfire. Nice trade. Stanislav, they all go down. B site is completely open. I think Peter knows this and chooses to charge and barely check in the corners. He's going to get a bomb plant, leaving Anger in Lurk and the Devil Walk in B site to go ahead and back him up.
Yeah, and here's actually the funny thing about that is you saw Ricks try to get on the box and play the edge of that smoke. Peter knows about that. He's used to seeing that because when they played against LDLC at X Games Aspen, he was on that CLG squad. He knew Happy would do that quite a lot. So he's very, very mindful of people playing that spot. And I guarantee you, Peter's watch out for that. I know that's a super big spot. And it's decently common to be fair, but I know he's hyper aware of that spot because he's had to play against it so much in the past. And Rick's getting caught there definitely hurt quite a lot. Roka and company nowhere near in position to help rotate to help that mid to be split. And so they just are forced to kind of take the save here in pit. And that's Luminosity off to a good start here so far on T side.
Yeah, very, very important round for Tempo Storm. They needed that win. 4-0. That's going to pretty much reset their economy. They've got enough money to go ahead and do a force buy. And tell you what, when you're able to save a couple of guns, you kind of have to do a force.
Yeah, right. They're going to try to go strong long here again. No long presence here from Luminosity at all. Lex just kind of lurking it. They're going really B-heavy, actually, with Peter's op. Trying to see if he can find a pick. He gets forced back, though.
Midair.
Yeah, Automatic catches him trying to fall back, so that's actually a big pick there. Pitt at least able to get a kill, though. He pushes out mid, grabs Ricks the rotator in CT spawn, evens it back up to a 4-on-4, and really kind of breaks up this team in a 2-2 split.
Now the dreaded smoke is thrown at tunnels. That's going to push the T's back towards mid. Might see a bit of a cat push.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of weight on Shazam to hold this cat cross with the op. You know, Roka's probably going to get his engagement with Pitt later on, but it's all about this cat cross now at this point. And Shazam has that op posted up on the ramp, so he's in a good spot to hold this off. Let's see if he can do it.
No, you see Anger creeping his way up there. Pitt also getting ready to make a play on Roka. Pitt, of course, is hurt, 33 health. Needs to land the headshot.
Yeah, and there's no smokes left for LG, so they kind of have to commit to this cat cross. They don't have a way to smoke mid to B and try to fall back that direction, so they need to just kind of hit this. They have that molly, though, to try to maybe flush Shazam off.
There's only one more flash available. That's Devil Walk, so they're going to come charging up. Shazam peeks down around the corner and actually misses the cross. Misses his first shot. Needs to get some op kills right now. He's looking towards long, suspecting something. There is a player there. He's going to turn away at the wrong time and get taken down. Bomb, of course, is planted. You got a two-man retake.
Yeah, they're both trying to come up cat, and Shazam actually did hit a shot, but it was through the box, so it didn't quite land the kill on Lex, and so that was a bit unfortunate there, trying to defend that cat cross. He missed out, but the Scylla retake coming in here from Stanislaw, and automatically got it back into a 2 versus 2. They have one isolated inside the site, but Pitt and Anger still able to come up with it, and so that's going to make it now 5-0. So Luminosity really doing well, and actually looks like a tactical timeout coming in already from Tempo Storm.
So hard to do that retake from down below at CT on Dust 2.
I mean, once again, Pitt carrying form 9-2 right now. Looked really hot T-side cash in that comeback effort. Looking good here as well. That is one of the main riflers on that team you expect to perform. Obviously, Peter's op's a big tool for them, but Pitt's rifle really is, I think, the next thing on the list that you watch out for from Luminosity if they're going to be successful. And he's definitely performing this series.
Yeah, indeed. Whole team firing off. Let's take a look. Top scorer 9-0 and 2.
Yeah.
Stanislaw is really the top performer right here for Tempo Storm at the end of round 6, or at the end of round 5, 3-1 and 5. Only one positive.
And here's the other thing. Like Shazam with the op, he's only had it for 2 rounds, but not able to come up with any production from it. And that op is absolutely crucial for holding off cat crosses. Of course, he's only attempted to defend the cat cross once, so it's not pretty limited pool of information there. But they absolutely need him to be able to kind of perform in that role going forward.
Well, I've got good news. Looks like the tactical timeout is over. If you are just joining us, the score line is 5-0 in favor of Luminosity Gaming. Luminosity, of course, won the first matchup on Cash in overtime.
Yeah, and this time, long A exchange, even though Roka does get in pitch. They're actually going to back him up. A Devil Walk catches him trying to push around the smoke, but Roka is at least able to trade. So they do keep it even at a 3 versus 3. But this is going to favor T, and Pitt can already try to get up cat, but Roka, rotating, shifting. Stanislaw presses mid, gets the bomb down, big kill.
Yeah, Pitt's going to go ahead and get aggressive. Looking down from Cat, takes 1 kill, and you got Automatic and Roka. It's a 2v2 situation. The bomb's going to get picked up by Pitt, and the question is, can Automatic find this kill? Anger on the other side is going to start walking right in towards the crosshairs of Automatic, who's waiting, peeks in the corner, takes 1. It's a trade, though, leaving us down a 1v1. Super tight, super close match.
It's just trading back and forth, and finally it comes down to this 1 versus 1, but Pitt at a health disadvantage here. He throws the mid to B smoke. That's going to shift Roka into CT spawn, making him think this could be a B hit, but Pitt actually runs all the way to long A with the op, and this is just such a smart play from Pitt. Like, Roka bit on that smoke hard. He's not even watching the long cross, and Pitt makes it across.
Yeah.
At least he stays alive, and he has a huge health advantage, and Pitt holding post plant with an op, that's going to be rather difficult.
This puts Roka in perhaps the worst position because he has to go down low, CT. Pitt expects it, peeks the corner, pre-fires, misses that shot. Now his position's been given up, which is going to allow Roka to move up towards ramp. Now Pitt holding on, gets jumped and surprised. Roka with the kill and finds the bomb on top of the box. And
yeah, I mean, the op was all fine and dandy whenever he's deep in CT spawn and you're waiting for that. But when it comes to that close range, that's where you really wish you would have had a rifle in that post-plant situation. And Roka doing well. Hat trick on the round to make that retake happen, to win out that 1v1. Like I said, it was such a tight round, even trades across. But in the end, Tempo Storm finally puts a point on the board.
Well, it's absolutely critical for Tempo Storm. They've got the cash that can go ahead and buy out what they need. Get it off in Shazam's hands and do something here. Straight out of the gate. What are we going to see, Dust?
Shazam is going to get quick catted here, so this is one of the plays he likes to make. He'll peek lower B first, and he'll slide out and try to pick Subway and back of Cat. So let's follow him. Immediately eradicated by Peter. And like I said, Shazam, still no production with the op. 0 kills.
Nice push down Cat, though. That's double walk getting a 2K. Makes it look easy. Walks right into the A side. Anger's going to get the tell. And they know A side's clear, which means Automatic must be sitting somewhere else down by B. Stanislaw on a long flank. I think he's actually just going to go try and save.
Yeah, Luminosity playing an excellent T side right now on Dust 2. They're really able to work up the cap. These A splits are working for them very effectively. Like I said, they're overrunning Shazam over on the A side, who's their biggest weapon to defend against those A hits. Yeah. Besides Roka inside the pit. And right now, Luminosity's just getting the better of them. There's really no other way to spin it. And it's about to be 6-1 in favor of Luminosity, playing, like I said, a really good half so far on Dust 2.
So what's this coming down to, Dust? Is it just getting outplayed strategy-wise, or is Luminosity Gaming simply outshooting and out-fragging Tempo Storm?
They're not doing anything crazy tactically, but they're playing the trading game very well. They're understanding the rotations quite well and working off of those. Yeah. Like I said, they're getting Shazam. Like I said, that's one of the biggest things you have to worry about is that op on the A side of the map. And so far, there was that one round they crossed Cat where he hit somebody, but it was through a box, unfortunately, so there's no kill there, and he got overrun. That round he tries to play his aggressive Cat play, which Peter knows very well. That's why he waited back. He knows Shazam likes to do that. He does it himself on CT side. Peter does. And he's been able to win those duels. And now it's Tempo Storm forced to take just a save here, and Luminosity could build up quite an impressive lead because of all this.
A lot of aggression over here. Looks like a 4-man stack, I think. Rick's the only one that survives the CT push towards A. And the bomb gets propelled all the way towards mid. Stanislaw's trying to get super sneaky beaky here in tunnels. He's going to get punished for that, allowing the bomb to work its way right into B site. Rick's all alone. Hey, he's got an AK-47 moral victory right there. Try and save it.
Right, and so at this point here, we do have Rix in a 1 versus 4 bomb going down at B. He's getting chased by 2 people already. He's trying to save this AK, but I mean, Luminosity can definitely chase. They do have a lot of money there, especially on Peter and Anger, so they can definitely kind of start pushing the issue here. Make sure you can't save, and I mean, this is well done. They've also reset Tempo Storm's economy a couple of rounds ago, so that means the money's quite tight. They can't even really force here, to be honest, so they're just going to have to take a double save, and Luminosity going to be able to use that to go up 8-1 possibly. And like I said, a lot of production here. Devil Walk's going off. Pit still holding really strong there. I mean, everyone's really firing off on Luminosity.
I saw Shazam a little bit during the break. Talked to him. He seemed pretty down coming back into this round. Maybe he's a little bit rattled, down in his spirits, and might be affecting his game. He's currently sitting 0, 1, and 7.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 11-4 on the first half of Cash and you can't close that game, that definitely has to, take a hit on you. But hopefully they can kind of regather themselves because they need this map to force a third. And so far, Luminosity's running away with it.
Yep. Crazy tactics on the eco. Roka just pushes straight into T, finds 1 kill.
They actually have a man advantage here. This aggressive Cat mid push from Tempo Storm working out. They have a man advantage. The bombs kind of in a tough spot here. These tiers are so spread out, but they're eventually working themselves some kills and getting back into the round. But Automatic with the deagle makes it a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird-looking setup when you look at it. Everybody's completely spread out. No one's in a position to really do trades. And Pitt is able to go ahead and take down Automatic. That leaves Stanislaw all alone with a USP hiding in B site, just trying to do something.
Do they just walk by him and he somehow clutches this 1 versus 2?
It could happen. We do have helmets on both players, though, so Stanislaw's going to have to do 2 taps.
No, they check.
Oh, there it is, yep.
So well, 8-1 for Luminosity.
I mean, in that situation, there's only 1 player left. It's unlikely that it's going to be in a standard location. You want to check the kind of weird spots that that you don't normally check aggressively. And you saw that jump peak.
Yeah. You got to check all your corners at that point.
Yeah.
So we are going to see it, our next buy round here. Shazam with the op. Once again, this time he's looking for a long A attack. That block is working over there, not committing too much to it, so there's not going to really be any engagement there. Giving up mid, though, is Tempo Storm. They're playing 2 inside B, 3 really deep on long A. Rix has also been being punished a lot in that CT rotation position. He's 2 and 9, so he's had a tough time as well, being that main A rotator. And here comes what looks like just a heavy Cat there.
Yeah, well, the smoke's in place. Anger's thinking about pushing it, walks into the smoke, is going to back off. Actually, he walked in the smoke so he can throw this molly. Unfortunately, doesn't find anybody, doesn't flush anybody out.
They still have some smokes, too, to smoke CT spawn, so they could still transition to a mid-B here, or they could, like, fake a mid to B and actually hit into the A-bomb site. But I think they know they've leaned 3 on A right now, so I feel like they might just shuffle to a mid to B.
Yeah, Tunnel's control has been given up, but Automatic's just going to go ahead and re-smoke that. No real information in the hands of Tempo Storm at this point.
Yeah, Shazam once again going to be called on to hold off this cat cross, if in fact that's where the push is going to come, and so far it looks like it is, but they're going to smoke them off and maybe do some type of cat drop-down play.
Yep, it's, I thought it was going to be the Flying Freiburg play, but it's not. Shazam getting into a little off battle, misses another shot and another, and then he finally goes down. Rix playing Goose. Missing Whiff City,
And, yeah.
but Roka's able to mop this thing up.
Yeah, they tried to cat drop-off play, you know, smoking the CT spawn and such and just trying to drop off. Here's the biggest thing that happened there is like a small detail is they mollied Goose, so they thought it was clear, but actually didn't go as deep as they had hoped for. So Rix was able to actually hide in Goose and come out and get 2 frags, and they thought it was totally clear. And that was one of the biggest differences in that exchange that we saw, was Rix being able to uncontested kind of get those kills because he wasn't paid any mind to, basically. And so finally, Tempo Storm putting up a gun round. Also, Shazam finally able to put that op to work, at least get a pick over on the A side.
Yeah, he's currently sitting 1-1 and 10. He goes down very quickly, giving up mid control with your star offer down. That's going to allow Luminosity Gaming to walk right into mid. They're going to smoke off Rix and walk right into B site with a 2-pronged attack. Look how aggressive Automatic and Stanislaw are, though. They've pushed all the way into tunnels.
This could be devastating. If Tempo Storm's money gets reset right here, they're absolutely screwed next round. This could be 10-2 really, really fast. But Tempo Storm needs to recover. Roka flanking up long A, does get 1 pick. Looking for Anger at mid, finds
Look at that
2.
spray.
Yeah, and there it is. So Tempo Storm dodges a huge bullet of their economy being reset and really making this a dominant half for Luminosity. Let's see if they can kind of build this up here and keep it going. They're going double op setup now, so Automatic will probably op back B. Yeah. Shazam doing his same thing either at A or mid.
Well, that could put B right on lockdown. I'm curious, with an op going B, we might end up seeing more like a 1-1-3 setup. Instead, well, look at Automatic. He's in mid.
Yeah. I'm sure eventually he can transition to the back of B, though, but he's definitely looking at mid right now, looking for anybody playing up the cat. Shazam playing that same crossover position. So basically just holding the same spots, really. No real change of position, except the fact that Automatic is active mid, but falls into B now.
Good choice by Luminosity, working their way up cat where they are smoked off. Shazam has an op watch in that corner.
Right, and so once again, we see Luminosity staging up for some type of cat play with just these Tech 9s. They do have a couple of flashes in smoke, so it looks like they just want to try to charge up the catwalk and make a play.
Flashbang out. Rix from below gets 1, gets 2. Before he goes down, Shazam's not able to do any work with the op, and the bomb is going to go down at A site.
Yeah, and this is like a save round for Luminosity. They forced up some upgraded pistols, but this is definitely an advantage for Tempo Storm, and it's now a 3v3, and they're still going to try to make the retake happen, but it's looking decent for Luminosity. At least they got the plan.
Got Plant Pit is going to be hiding in the corner, hoping that somebody peeks around the corner. That Stanislaw peeks, gets the better of him, and now site belongs to CTs.
Oh, okay.
Mopped up on Cat, and now there's the defuse. What happened on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a Cat hit from LG. They planted for Cat. They had a guy hiding quad, like a little bit of a bait setup. But Stanislaw kind of understanding where the bomb is planted. None, that's probably the case, actually pushes quad and grabs that exchange. So, you know, well done from Tempo Storm to make sure they don't give up kind of an eco round out of Luminosity. But we are going to see a full buy come out from Luminosity once again. They've had a great half so far. You know, the first 9 rounds played, they won 8 of those 9. It's a 3-round winning streak, though, from Tempo Storm in recent times. So maybe they can start trying to bring this thing back. Still the double op in play. Yeah,
it certainly helps the economy. Buy round for Tempo Storm and Luminosity Gaming. Lots of flashes coming out at long A, but it's a fake. Not selling anything. And again, a lot of mid-focus for Luminosity Gaming. Seems like we go there almost every round.
Right, and so they are going to be able to push out mid again. Rex is the CT guy trying to defend against this. He's had some struggles there. See if he can show up here, and now.
Mid to B. There's a kill. 1 goes down. Automatic doing some serious work with that second off.
Oh,
1 kill, 2 kills. Can't quite get the better of Lex. Lex is just going to go for money, plant the bomb.
Yeah, this is a tough 1v3 though. Unimac did so well to hold off that initial push and get 2 kills with the op at close range like that. And now because of that, Tempo Storm able to capitalize on the retake. That's now going to put it at 4 rounds in a row for them to make it 5-8. So they're starting to make a decent half out of this now after what looked like a really, really tough start.
Yeah, I think Tempo Storm, they were really rattled after losing a match that I think they feel they should have won last time around on Cash. Now they're starting to come back. The question is, can the off get back on point? Let's look at Shazam. He's only 2-1-11. He's been completely off throughout all of Dust 2 after a lot of really big showings.
Yeah, like I said, he's had trouble holding off that A cross. His aggression cat hasn't really panned out for him either, so you definitely see him being a bit more passive here. He's playing that crossover position. Rifles up, though, on Luminosity. Once again, just staging up for Cat. Like I said, they've had that Cat drop-down play up their sleeve. That we've seen them transition back to the B off of this, so you don't really know what you're going to get just yet. But you see Stanislaw already kind of getting in position, CT spawn, to try to help either way. Try to being fast to help rotate A. Rick's committing to the A bomb site. They're trying to play pretty A heavy here, actually. And Roka does get a pick on the lurker at long.
Yeah, Devilwalk just got a little bit aggressive and peeked his head out there. Roka standing there waiting. Luminosity just favoring the A hit. That was the story of Cash too. Hey guys, let's go A. It's not working quite as effectively this time around though.
Yeah, so here come the nades over at A. Like I said, they're flushing out players with the molly. They're doing the cat drop down. Rick's getting flashed, but he's holding his own. He's waiting for the cross. But Peter leading with the op pick, and Pitt comes in as well with the entry. So there's your 2 stars for the team coming up big now.
Oh, and then another player goes down on ramp. The bomb's going to get planted, and here's Anger aggressively peeking Stanislaw. I don't think Stanislaw was ready for that move. Should be a point right here for Luminosity as we see Automatic running away in fear, trying to hang on to that AWP. 8-5. Scoreline's actually going to go up 9-5 in favor of Luminosity Gaming. Keep in mind, Dust, that Luminosity did just win Cash in overtime, so Tempo Storm's going to have to make some really big plays going forward at T side. Yeah,
they're just getting good production. Luminosity is out of their big players. You know, Peter with the op having a decent game. It's really been Pitt though that's been top fragging both maps so far. But really everyone's playing well. Look at the frag distribution actually over here for the T side. Lex, Devilwalk, Anger, all in double digits, only a frag apart. Peter 8-7. You got Pitt at 15-8. So definitely tight race over there. Meanwhile, the A defenders for Tempo Storm really struggling, especially Shazam. But Rix is also a part of that. Roka, strangely enough, their long A defender actually has been their top fragger, but they've really been struggling holding off, especially the cat cross. And there's Peter getting a headshot to the door of Stanislaw. Ouch, that's B really wide open now.
Oh, you gotta hate that when you're just running straight out of the gate. You get picked off instantly. Now Tempo Storm down 1 man, 4 versus 5, which means they can't play a really aggressive stack. Lex gonna try and take mid control. Rix is blind. If only they pushed him right now, it would work. But the play's effective, and it forces Rix to go down towards long.
Yeah, on a Mac though, from the back of B, able to catch Pitt, so at least evens back up at a 4-on-4. Good crossfire at long, catches Devilwalk lurking long A. And so Tempo Storm have fought to bring this round back despite that early pick from Peter at the very beginning. And they actually have a man advantage.
Here's the danger of having a set lurk player like Devilwalk. Once you get that kill, you kind of know that this is the site that Luminosity is not taking.
Yeah, unless they're trying to do some type of pinch, but here you can definitely see LG shifting off to a mid to B hit, and it's going to be up to Automatic once again close range with the op to try to make a play. He did it earlier with the double kill, and look at him catching one up close with the headshot, but it still is a bomb down, and it's a 2v2. Slight favorite is going to be LG in this round.
Yeah, here's Rix. He's completely smoked off. Roka's the only one who can actually enter the site. And you see Lex, he's got his gun sights already on this corner. Roka through window takes a little bit of heat. Doesn't get hit, actually. Spray down. Look at that 2-man crossfire. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I mean, Roka actually, that was actually a pretty neat flash shot to push in there, but his teammate goes down, and you're caught in basically a 90-degree angle where you have to be able to flick back and forth and get kills. It's just a tough crossfire to defend. And
you need a headshot first, or else it's just not going to work.
Yeah, and Luminosity, big half there, 10-5.
Yeah.
Really well done. Like I said, a lot of production out of their star players. Like I said, people on A for Tempo Storm struggling. It's a combination of those two factors, which gives Luminosity a huge edge right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw lots of really heavy mid presence from Luminosity Gaming. T side, going into CT, I mean, what do you expect? Tempo Storm and Luminosity, they play so differently. Are they going to be hyper aggressive or what?
I'm not really sure. Like I said, I haven't really seen Luminosity play this map a whole lot, except for that game yesterday against Navi. Tempo Storm, once again, this is kind of new for me as well. So, I mean, these are two like really new teams playing some of their first maps together officially as a 5. I did at least see, though, from Tempo Storm, like I said, you see Roka kind of playing some similar positions, so I expect him to be kind of the guy engaging long A for this team over here on Tempo Storm. Obviously, CEVO will work around with the op either way. I'm trying to think here how else. I mean, for the Luminosity side, obviously, you know, Peter's out's going to be big on the CT side. He will be the guy like Shazam trying to defend that A crossover. Absolutely. And Peter, if he can have a good game with the op on CT defending that cat crossover, which is going to be his main job, if he can get aggressive cat like he likes to do and make plays there, it's going to be a handful. And then Pitt, their main A rotator. I don't think they're going to be too aggressive, except for Peter's op at times might be, to answer your question, I guess.
Well, looks like the game is just about to go live. Pistol round, second half. Tempo Storm's on T side, Luminosity on defense. And again, with these 10-5 score lines, it's really all about the pistol round at this point for Tempo Storm as they work their way towards B.
Yeah, they're looking to just do a heavy B hit. Smoke is up, or they have to press through that, and they will. But Lex just going to line them up with this USP, tapping away some heads. Devil Walk comes with a couple. We have a 3v2.
Yeah, Shazam and Rix are out, and Shazam's got the bomb. He's going to do that dangerous cross right there, survives it. They smoke off door. That's absolutely huge. Peter's out there. Shazam, is he going to plant? Yes, he is. At least they've got some cash to maybe try a third round buy if this doesn't work out. Shots between Rix and Anger. Anger walks in, and Shazam just has to play this really tough angle back platform. You almost expect it at this point.
Yeah, they just tried to force a B rush through a smoke, and you know Lex and Devil Walk able to combine for a few frags to give their team a man advantage in that 3 versus 2. Especially Devil Walk there, you know, towards the mid part, and then yeah, the retake just this strong from Luminosity, and they're gonna get it 11-5. Bomb was planted, however.
Yeah.
So we could definitely see Tempo Storm. I mean,
what are you thinking?
I mean, I thought they would be a lot more conservative here so they can buy up AKs, and they still will be. Like, they're not committing too heavy. Like, yeah, the Tech 9 was bought from Nyx, but no armor being bought. So, yeah, this is definitely just, you know, looking to buy AKs next round.
Luminosity Gaming looks like they're being really aggressive down at long A. Automatic sees that, takes a lot of damage, 22 health. Before backing off, and we're going to have a really strong push. I don't think they're going to stop at all. Shazam on point, going down Cat. They're able to take Cat control. One already down. That's going to be Rix. Shazam picks up a Tech 9. Pocket AK-47 covering for the bomb plant.
Yeah, they will plant for Cat, and they will get it down, but the retake from LG going to be good here. They're going to win it 12-5, but this just adds even more weight to Tempo Storm's economy going into their first buy, which will be next round. So yeah, it's still decent.
Well, I mean, after losing the pistol round, having 2 bomb plants is absolutely huge. At least if they do a force buy, or if they're able to buy up next round, which they should be able to, and take the point, Tempo Storm has a few rounds they can still give up and reestablish momentum against Luminosity Gaming. I mean, they got to do it, or else it's all over.
Right. So I mean, this is kind of a big round for Tempo Storm to crack back into the game. If this doesn't work out and they can't get a bomb plant, they're actually going to be forced to save, which would let like LG go up 14-5 basically. At the same time, money pretty tight on the CT side. They could even force them into a save if they can, you know, win this round here. So this round really worked too for either team. Tempo Storm definitely needs it the most though, given the current state of things.
And a lot of activity going on in mid with a very aggressive push by CTs. And Shazam's able to make good with that off, holding on to bomb control and mid control. Now in a 4v3 man advantage belonging to Tempo Storm as they work their way towards a mostly empty A site.
Well, I mean, Shazam knows that people like to get aggressive cat as well with the op, and so he holds back and he grabs the 2 frags, so well done there. And yeah, Tempo Storm winning a very, very key round here when the money was tight. They get it. And yeah, like I said, that helps them stay in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Tempo Storm, they needed that round. So critical. Now, let's see how the finances look for Luminosity Gaming Dust. Not a lot of cash and very light buy.
Yeah, definitely going to be a save coming out of here, or just, you know, some upgraded pistols. So this is kind of the chance here for you know, Luminosity, excuse me, Tempo Storm to be able to start creeping back into the game at least a little bit here.
Well, let's see what happens. Bomb's going to be going down towards mid. Looks like a little bit of an aggressive gambit down here at mid. Stanislaus spamming through smoke. I don't know if he saw the player or not, but he certainly did quite a lot of damage, and already Luminosity down 3 players, Dust.
Yeah, indeed. So, I mean,
B4.
to be fair, this is kind of to be expected. I mean, they just upgraded their pistols. It was going to be tough for them to do much, and so it is Tempo Storm being able to
Flawless victory.
Yeah. Hold on to these AKs, not having the rebuy, which helps establish their own economy. So this is definitely good news for Tempo Storm, but this is their next gun round they have to try to come up with.
Scoreline currently looking like 12-7. Luminosity Gaming able to pull out quite a comeback on cash on our first map, winning it out in overtime. Tempo Storm obviously rattled. And Shazam, the question is he back in the game? 5-1-15, still struggling. He's been able to find a few kills with the off, but just not working.
So far, even exchanged that long A. Anger was able to put one down, but Roka, like I said, he played that long A position quite a lot for his former teams. He's known to kind of play that, and he is able to get a pick in his own right here on that exchange. And so, like I said, 4-on-4. Luminosity trying to reassess, some aggression at Cat, however, kind of giving up long A and just playing mid and Cat, so they can rotate quickly to B if they need to, but they're right there to defend against the Cat push.
Look at Lex hanging out outside of mid door, around the corner of smoke. He hears lots of fire. That's from Rix. Knows somebody's around the corner. Question is, what's he going to do? Is he going to push the smoke? Is he going to be able to flank from behind? Automatic. Up Cat. Critical play for Lex, though. He's got all the information. He knows they're on Cat.
And Peter staying in the fire forever, trying to look for an op pick, but no one pushed Cat, so he just dies in the fire, and that's terrible, man. You got to get out of that. I guess he just really wanted to hold his ground and hope that he could get at least one pick before he went down. I guess he thought jumping in the fire would make him an easy target and he'd die anyway, but yeah, that's definitely kind of insane. He falls prey to that, and now
Shazam.
Yeah, I mean, Lex stuck in a 1v3, can't do it, and here you see Tempo Storm really starting to jump back into this game in a big way.
Well, they have to, right? They were down so much at the end of the first half, losing the pistol round, and now Tempo Storm on a 3-round winning streak. And look at the cash on Roka. TS can do just about anything they want at this point. They can even throw a few rounds away.
Yeah, I mean, Roka's been excellent for them. I mean, he was especially good at trying to get them the few rounds they did get on CT side, but he's helped out a lot. And there it is, Shazam getting the mid pick through the door onto Lex in the head. Well done. This will just prompt a huge B push.
Here it is. Flashbangs out. Rick jumps on top of the box. 1 and 2. Stanislaw actually picked up one of those kills. B site now belongs to Tempo Storm. Another kill at double door. And that's about it.
All right, so we are at a now 12-9 situation here. Tempo Storm has been able to win the last 4 rounds in a row to climb back into this game, so definitely well done. Full buys on both teams coming up this round. Peter going to have his op again. Curious to see where he's going to put it to use.
As a buy round, critical round for Tempo Storm at this point, what do you say we listen in, crack the code? It's Turtle Beach team chat time. Tempo Storm.
Okay, let me know when you guys are set up.
Flashing mid.
Dude, I can flash you guys like cat. You guys are set up?
Hold on,
No,
just wait, wait. I'm mulling
Tell me when.
No, you just blocked me.
Oh, fuck, sorry. Tell me when to flash cat.
I didn't play tunnel.
One CT mid.
Flashing cat.
Is he fighting you there?
I'm flashing cat.
They just flashed into long tunnels. I'm smoking outside long
this
tunnels.
guy can push lower, man.
Come set up. Come set up, guys.
Alright, I'm coming.
Yo, he can push lower. I'm just letting you guys know.
It's alright.
Yeah, set up.
Stan,
You have to go around me, go around me.
Stan, remember you have bomb? You have bomb?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Ready.
Alright, smoke. I threw my shit outside long.
Flashing. Wait for him to bloom. I hear one spawn.
Tim, you have our flank, right?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. One long. We're good?
Watch out for that spawn.
Can someone flash? Someone flash sight?
No.
Look at that. Tempo Storm running that nip smoke wall off. Envious also known for this, just walling off the entire site and the ramp, and they just slip in. They play it for free. CTs can't do anything.
That's it.
Now they just have to try to play a 5v5 retake.
And there's the op of Shazam doing some serious work. Now Pith pinned down. Also going to get op. Shazam, he's back in this game. That's a 3K right there. Bombs ticking away, and you see the CTs quickly retreating.
Right.
Well played, Tempo.
Well done. I mean, they smoke off all the site defenders that are going to be Goose or A-Ramp. They even smoke off Peter's op who's playing Cat Cross. The only possible way he can make a play there is if he actually jumps on top the car at Game Helper. But then you're exposing yourself to an easy trade, and so they couldn't do anything there. Like I said, it's that wall off. You see Nip run that a lot.
Yeah.
I know it's something that Envious and Cloud9 like to do as well, and it was highly effective in that round.
Well, that was a 3K by Shazam, and then it finished up with a 2K by Rix after the bomb had gone down. That was absolutely huge because it hurt the economy of Luminosity Gaming. They might have been able to go ahead and force up at some point. Now they're in a full save situation.
Yeah, we'll talk about those comms a little bit. I know it might have sounded a little bit hectic there. You know, you hear a lot of calling, but it's really just saying, hey, I can flash for you. Hey, I can do this for you. And that's actually good to hear those types of things like, yeah, do it. Yeah, don't do it. And you could also tell that right before we got into their comms, they must have already known they were going to run that tactic because Stan, their in-game leader, would be like, okay, everyone stop, set up. Like, let's go into what I previously called. So you didn't hear Stan call the strat, but you can tell he had called one because he said, okay, guys, stop what you're doing now. Let's set up for what I called. And it worked out well.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's what freeze time's for, right? You discuss what you're going to do, and at some point you cancel and then move on. I love listening in on teams like that because you can hear the professionalism going on at Tempo Storm. You know, they're not freaking out. They're just calmly and concisely calling out what they're going to do and what they need and executing.
Yeah, it sounded frantic, but it wasn't like nervousness or anything like that. It's just like, hey, I can do this. Hey, you ready to do this? Like, hey, I'm set up. I'm ready. I'm in position. Let's throw this stuff. Wait for it to bloom. Like, it was good comms, you know.
Look at the flank on Shazam. He's offing. He's got 3 players coming up behind. Suspects something. Peeks around the corner. Takes one. Tech9 takes another. And 3K. Shazam with the round win.
Yeah, that's 6 kills across the last 2 rounds to really start bringing his numbers up after a tough first half. So it is 11-12. Tempo Storm about to tie this thing up. It was Luminosity making the comeback on Cash. It's looking like Tempo Storm's going to do it this time around, winning the last 6 rounds in a row and putting Luminosity in a tough spot. These A hits that Tempo Storm have crafted lately have been doing well against the CT side of Luminosity.
Well, let's see exactly what happens as Shazam brings the bomb towards B's site. Standard setup, mid-control, given and taken very quickly by Tempo Storm.
And they're going for a really heavy mid to B split right off the bat. The 2 players playing inside the B bomb site, though, but they're going to get pinched, and this is going to be very difficult to hold against. Yeah, Lex does get a kill. Lex gets 2 kills. Well done from Lex.
Yeah, his teammate on back plat goes down, so now it's up to him to hold off Automatic and Shazam as long as possible. Finally, Lex goes down, but the rotation and cavalry have arrived. Shazam sees an exit, is able to get one of the players in tunnels, but they're committing to this B take.
That's a big kill on Anger. That erases the man advantage Luminosity had on this retake where they were going to pinch from tunnels and outside the site. The only thing is the bomb hasn't quite been planted yet, so LG just waiting it out here. Pitt catches the bomb crossing, so this is well done from LG.
Yeah, here's Shazam. He's in a really bad position at this point, walking out of smoke. He's going to get pinched in from 2 angles. He knows one's going to come window. He knows one's going to come from door, walks around, gets shoulder peeked down low by Peter, actually through the wall, and that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually just huge on Lex. Like, he made a huge play. When the pressure was on, the pinch was coming in. He's taking heat from tons and window. He comes up with 3 frags, and even his teammate went down with no kills. That was just a heads-up play from Lex. So really well done.
We already heard from Tempo Storm, so what do you say we flip the switch and tune in to Luminosity Gaming? Turtle Beach, team chat.
One more goose, guys.
You're good.
What's your cat rush?
He's long.
Goose.
He got his op.
Okay.
He got his op on.
Just sit CT. Yeah.
Behind the door. One up cat.
Nading him. Yo, I'm coming to op this, Todd.
Nade it.
Did. Move.
He was in the door.
Something. It's not cats. Could drop spawn.
Okay, I'm coming back.
Or walk up cats. You could walk up cat.
Up cat. 1v tons, right? Yeah. 1 long.
Okay.
He's inside long door.
They don't know you're there.
Out the way.
Yeah.
I'm a goose.
Okay.
Need to peek. Cat.
Yeah.
You can rotate, please.
Hold him.
Mid B smoke.
Flashing up cat. I'm holding if they cross.
Calm, collected comms there from Luminosity, just calling what they're doing, calling what could be open, what needs to be watched. And it's going to be a shuffle into a B hit, though, from Tempo Storm.
Yeah, Automatic's already kind of out. Double Walk knows what's going on.
Oh, this cat player could just so flank all this rotating in CT spawn.
Oh, Rix. I think he sees Peter. Gets Peter. Sees Pitt. Long distance fire.
Oh, man.
Pitt's going to go down.
And
Anger's
Automatic
last
uses
man.
to slip outside the site. Anger didn't see him slip out, so he's probably not going to expect this at all.
See what happens. Walks around the corner. He's got the crosshair right there. takes the shot, does some damage, but Automatic able to go ahead and take the kill. Tempo Storm now 12 and 13. We are 1 point away from a tie and
Deja vu,
potential overtime yet again.
Yeah, it's a little bit. There was 11-4 comeback from Luminosity after the first half, and now it's looking like Tempo Storm's going to be the one to do it this time around.
This is big.
Yeah, I mean, these have been some really tight games in this series. Definitely some cool stuff between two of like the North American teams that aren't quite like in the top three. They're trying to work themselves up in that position, though. And,
Yeah.
And this has been a pretty solid series.
Well, I mean, within the CEVO division, Luminosity Gaming finished number 2 throughout the season, and Tempo Storm came in at number 4. Clearly, Tempo Storm asserting themselves as the dominant force at this point.
And like I said, I feel like they've made some good upgrades here, and they're actually just going to stack. Stack on Luminosity, and they actually push B tunnels. And Tempo Storm realizes it. They realize it's a stack, and now they're just going to push up Cat, plant the bomb at A for free. 1 AK collected from Pit. I mean, they could try to retake this 5v4. No, Sinzal almost got caught with his gun out, but he didn't quite, and he gets the kill. Now we have a 4-on-4 with the bomb down.
Yeah, Anger first man on site. Lex is going to get caught in a 1v1 down low from CT. He gets taken down, so it's going to be Devil Walk and Peter on Cat. Pit backing off. Looks like he was able to pick up an AK-47 and go for the save. This should be Tempo Storm's point for a tied game. Dust, I don't even know what's going to happen at this point.
I mean, it seems like Tempo Storm has really just found some stuff that works for them here on the T side. It's really been individual plays from Luminosity that's kind of held them in, like that big play from Lex inside the B bomb site a few rounds ago with the triple kill. So it seems like it's taken like some brilliant individual efforts from Luminosity to hold off what the opponents are doing, and they're not always getting those plays.
Well, there's Roka able to take one shot off at the very end of the round, and that's a 13-13 score line. Let me pull up the scoreboard real fast and see who's really representing as far as kills and numbers go. Looks like it's all about the Rix and Roka show for Tempo Storm.
Yeah, they've been doing really, really good stuff here. I mean, Rix alone on the T side is 15-5. Roka 6-3. Yeah. I mean, everyone's really. Shazam's even been big on T side. Like he was 2-13 on CT side, really struggling. He's 13-4 right now on the Terra side, so really picking it up. But Peter does strike first in this particular round. They have the instant 5 versus 4. We're seeing another mid-B split here from Tempo Storm.
Well, it looks pretty good. It's going to be a 2v3 attack, rushing through windows. Shots are being exchanged up top, and Devil Walk returning with the 2K, taking the window player out. He just can't deal with the guys. Automatic coming out of tunnels. That's going to get smoked off Dust, and we might have a bomb plant.
Yeah, and Anger flanking B tunnel. Shazam gets caught here. Automatic left all alone now in a 1 versus 3. Anger with just 1 HP. Peter trying to jump peek over the smoke. Automatic presses out. He's blind. Everyone's blind. Automatic catches Peter. Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of time. He can just work up Cat to A and plant, or you can hold off and double fake.
47 seconds remaining. Automatic going all the way towards Cat, and they don't know he's there yet. Anger and Pit suspecting it's going to be some sort of a sneaky B play. You're going to see the bomb get planted. Pit working his way all the way around towards long. Actually, the bomb's not even going down yet. Automatic playing it slow.
Automatic was just making sure no one's about to push him right as soon as he was planting the bomb, and so he will get the plant off. He plants safe, though, so he's kind of stuck inside the site, which gives Luminosity some options to try to pinch him here.
This is crazy. 1 health.
Oh, Anger gets caught with a nade out. Pit comes long. Automatic wise to it. Quad kill on the round. Well done from Automatic.
Wow.
That's
Automatic.
half his kills for the whole entire half right there on that one play.
That was absolutely insane. I mean, I thought this was all over for Automatic, but somehow he flashes himself out through smoke, gets the 1 kill, and just runs for his life to A site. Gets the plant, wins the 2v1. Unreal.
And I mean, the thing is Devil Walk got a double kill inside the site, but when Anger got caught in tunnels there, that hurt a lot. And then, you know, yeah, Automatic just makes a sick play there in the 1 versus 2 that was.
Pit getting really aggressive down Cat. He's able to take 1 kill, but Stanislaw in time for the trade. Bomb makes its way towards A site. That's going to be Anger watching it with a P250. Come on, you got to get 1 kill, get some sort of a headshot. Instead, Molly forcing him back. Not much happening.
Yeah, not much at all here. So it is going to look like Tempo Storm could push us to map point, but Luminosity still has a 3 versus 3, so maybe somehow they're able to fight back here, but so far not the case.
Yeah, Devil Walk trying to do that jump dig action. Almost got a kill, but ended up getting taken down, leaving Anger all alone, still fighting for his life. The weakest player is in his crosshairs. That's going to be Automatic. Surrounded, flanked down the side, and that's an expected win for Tempo Storm, bringing us 15-13. Match point.
Yeah, right. I mean, Tempo Storm look like they're going to push this to a mat 3 after all. Just the comeback they've had in this second half. The first half looked real tough when they lost 10-5 to the Luminosity's T side. But here on their own terrace side, they've had some great hits on the A site. Like that smoke wall off strat that worked out well for them. They had some great mid to B hits. They're getting a lot of production out of players like Rix and Shazam in particular in this half, who kind of struggled in the first half, to be honest. Like both those players really had a tough time on CT on T, doing wonders for this team.
Tempo Storm kind of all over the place, taking mid control again. Peter trying to hold it off with an off. No smokes in place, and he's able to find the shot on Rix before backing off. Stanislaw also quite hurt, down to 17 health.
Right, and we do have ourselves a 5v4 in Lunosity's favor. The Luminosity can still win out these 2 rounds and put this into overtime.
Which they might. That would be 2 overtimes in a row with the Tempo Storm Luminosity matchup.
Yeah, the problem is, though, with Luminosity, well, I guess it doesn't matter if they lose this round, it's all over. But anyhow, Tempo Storm shuffling their numbers back over here towards Cat. They also still have Roka playing that long A position you're used to seeing from him. Pitt playing Goose. Peter watching the cross with the op. Let's see if they can hold this off. She's going to go for the duel here with Peter.
Molly's in hand. Automatic chucking it out. Make it rain. Smokes.
Roka caught Anger at long. So we have a 4-on-4 now.
Oh, Peter's missing a shot down at long. Devil Walk playing retake from CT. He's got to land these shots, got to make these kills. One of them goes down. That's Stanislaw. But from on top, Automatic with the headshot. Tempo Storm 16-13. They're able to take the victory, not even on their map, Dust 2.
Yeah, both teams winning the other team's pick, basically. Both situations were a comeback for Luminosity on the first map. They made a crazy comeback to put it into overtime and then won it. And then here, after a tough first set, Storm puts up a comeback to win in regulation, but still a very tight game at 16-13. So definitely just a close series so far, but it's going to the third map, Cobblestone. We'll take a quick look at the stats, though, before we transition over there.
Yeah, looking at the kills, looks like Automatic is just leading 24 kills with the highest plus-minus going to Roka with a plus-minus of 8.
I just have to note, though, the recovery that Rix made. I mean, he had such a tough first half on CT play in that rotation position, but came up big on T side. Same with Shazam. He had 2 kills after the end of the first half, comes up with 14 in the second half on T side, so really well done. Roka also really, really big for that team, 22 kills, and you already mentioned on Max, so I needed to go there. And pretty tight frag distribution on the Luminosity side. They just couldn't get anything going consistently on CT side. It took really big individual efforts to close out rounds, like the Lex clutch over at the B bomb site, for example. It's just like things like that. They couldn't consistently find success.
So far, based on what we've seen in the first 2 maps, Cash and Dust 2, who is your pick for MVP of this game?
For Dust 2?
So far, yeah.
I mean, I would say I've been seeing a lot of really good play out of Pitt. If I'm talking about like Luminosity, like who's their MVP's been so far this series, he's looked really, really impressive through and through. Peter's obviously had his moments, so he'd be like, I guess, number 2. When you look over at the Tempo Storm side, it really has been like, I feel Automatic had a big game there. I really feel like like Rix has had a huge impact though as well.
Right.
Except for that CT sour, he's a bit tough on D2. But
Rix is so often that star player.
Online, especially, we wanted to see how he transitioned to land. So far, the transition to land's been quite
good.
You know, I would be proud of this land performance if I was him so far, given the situation. But we'll take a break. When we come back, we will have that third map for you, so definitely stay tuned.
Cobble. And welcome back. We're getting ready for map number 3 after Tempo Storm took Dust 2 with a 16-13 score line. Map 3 Dust is, of course, going to be Cobblestone. Who's this favor?
I don't know, man. Both maps so far have been heavily T-sided.
Yeah.
Granted, D2, you kind of expect that to a degree.
Of course.
Cash, not as much, but it's still a pretty balanced map. And I guess in the North American scene, and it's fair to pull from that because it's just 2 North American teams.
Of course, yeah.
You see both these maps actually historically go pretty T-sided in
Yeah.
most cases, and it's the same case here. We're going on the Cobblestone, another map that's in the NA scene, pretty T-sided in pretty
Right.
much all the NA games that I watch on Cobblestone, and I cast a lot of them, to be fair, so I could definitely expect that. We've also seen both teams make comebacks now. Like, it was a comeback for Luminosity on Cash to win in overtime. It's a
Then it was
comeback from Tempo Storm on Dust 2.
Yeah.
So we've seen it go the distance. I mean, both maps played out almost all 30 rounds, and then the Cash case, it had to go to overtime.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
They're very, very tightly matched up.
Oh, absolutely.
I think what's interesting here is, just a reminder, Luminosity, Tempo Storm, as a team, they've played each other multiple times over, and Luminosity has always beat them by a pretty wide margin. I'm looking at the closest game we've seen was in the ESEA on Cash, 16-9. I don't have any recent history of the two teams facing each other on Cobblestone, though. So another big question mark for this event and for these teams.
Well, it's a big question mark just in general because, like I said, before coming to this event, Tempo Storm had only played one official best-of-3 with this 5, and they've made 2 roster changes since some of those games you talked about. So it's hugely different. And then you think about Luminosity, it's hugely different with Lex swapping to the in-game leader role, Devil Walk coming into the team, Peter going to dedicated op, not in-game leading. So they've made some role swaps and a roster change.
It's got to be hard to adapt to, right?
Yeah, and they haven't had a lot of time to do so. I mean, they picked up Devil Walk and immediately played ESWC 3 days later. Then after that, they had, a little bit of a break before they played this event. So they haven't had a whole lot of time to think about things or practice. I think they had maybe a couple of weeks of prep before this event. So
I'm noticing something very interesting in the score lines I've got pulled up here. Luminosity and Tempo Storm both incredibly weak on the CT side for Cash, right? Only taking about 4 rounds. And then again, very weak on their CT side for Dust 2. 5 rounds for Luminosity and only 3 rounds for Tempo Storm. So
I think it's just because on T side with these aggressive riflers these two teams had, like Pitt had been so successful on the T side for Luminosity opening up things. Peter, very aggressive opper, being able to pick up things. When you look over at the Tempo Storm side of things, it's really been people like Roka and Rix, those aggressive riflers. So I feel like when these aggressive riflers are in their comfort zone, which is T side entering sites and peeking people, they've been performing.
yeah, absolutely. Peter's been just opping on fire. Shazam struggled a lot on Dust 2 initially, but we saw towards the end of the game he started really coming back as an opper and crawled his way from a far bottom toward the mid-level position in frags and performance.
Yeah, I mean, it was just cool from Tempo Storm especially to see those guys recover. Like when Shazam and Rix had a tough half on the CT side. Transition to T side, they're completely different players, like playing really, really well.
Yeah, right.
And so that's definitely good to see that you're still able to get production out of these players, even with slow starts, didn't let it get to them.
Yeah.
When it comes to Cobblestone, like I said, I've seen LG play it a couple of times. Never have had really any success on, but they're playing against like much different teams than a North American team. Like I've seen them play against European teams. Like I think they played SK at ESWC and lost it.
You almost have to approach it a little bit differently, right? I mean, the European teams, they tend to play a lot more structured than these fast and loose American teams like Tempo Storm.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to expect here. Like I said, I don't know how much